In the forest behind my fence, it has not rained in 19 days. I checked the weather log. I walked in with a trowel and dug 10 centimeters down into the ground between two oaks. The soil was moist, dark, cool to the touch, even though the air above was 28 degrees. Worms moved away from the light. I counted 3 in one scoop. Fungal threads, white, thin, everywhere, held the soil together like fabric. 19 days without water, no irrigation system, no mulch bag from the store. No one managing a single thing. Then I walked 40 steps back to my garden bed and did the same thing. Pushed the trowel in. The top 5 centimeters, pale, dry, powdery. Below that, compacted clay, cracking apart in chunks. No worms, no threads, no moisture at all. I had watered this bed 3 days ago, 5 liters per plant. It was gone. 2 holes in the ground, 40 steps apart. One alive, one dead. Same rain, same sun, same zip code. In the last video, I told you I stopped digging. That was step 1. Today, the model I stole the idea from. It has been running for approximately 400 million years. Not one software update. A forest floor works in layers. On top, dead leaves, fallen branches, strips of bark. This layer is roughly 5 to 8 centimeters thick in a temperate deciduous forest. Below that, partially decomposed organic matter, dark, soft, crumbling between your fingers. Below that, finished humus, almost black, held together by fungal networks called mycorrhizae that stretch for meters in every direction. 1 teaspoon of this soil contains more microorganisms than there are people on Earth. Nothing is removed. Nothing is imported. Everything that falls becomes food for the layer beneath it. The leaves of September are the soil of next June. The branch that snaps in a storm is next year's nitrogen. No one tills this system. No one adds NPK granules. No one waters on a Tuesday to Thursday schedule. The leaf litter alone holds moisture for roughly 12 to 16 days at 25 degrees Celsius without a single drop of rain. I measured this myself, pushed a moisture meter into the forest floor on day 12 of a dry spell, and got a reading of 43%. My garden bed, watered 3 days prior, 11%. Roots in the forest go down 40 to 80 centimeters, not because someone loosened the path for them, but because the soil structure allows it. Air channels built by beetles. Worm tunnels that go deeper than your shovel ever will. Fungal highways that transport phosphorus from a decomposing log to a seedling 6 feet away. The infrastructure exists because nobody destroyed it. My garden had none of this. 3 years of digging, bagging, fertilizing, and I had 3 centimeters of usable topsoil. The forest behind the fence, doing absolutely nothing, had 15. 5 times more, at 0 cost. Over a time frame I cannot even measure because nobody was counting. The principle is not complicated. Cover the surface. Stop disturbing the layers underneath. Let biology do the engineering. That is the entire operating system. 3 rules. No subscription required. Here is where I stopped reading about it and started copying it. In October, I raked every fallen leaf from my yard, roughly 4 large garbage bags worth, maybe 20 kilograms dry weight. Spread them across 6 beds at about 8 centimeters thick. Time, 40 minutes. Cost, 0. I added some cardboard from delivery boxes underneath the leaves on 2 beds where weeds were worst, also 0. Then I left. No turning, no mixing, no amendments. I treated my garden bed exactly like a forest floor, put a blanket on it, and walked away. 6 weeks later, curiosity. I lifted the edge of the mulch on bed number 3. The bottom layer of leaves was dark and wet, pressed flat, already breaking apart. I could see worm castings, tiny dark pellets scattered on the soil surface. The soil itself was softer than I remembered. Not dramatically different, but softer. 8 months after that first October rake, I pushed a soil probe into the same bed. The top layer of leaves had disappeared entirely, digested by worms, pulled underground piece by piece over the winter. Below that, 9 centimeters of dark, crumbly humus. Not the 3 centimeters I had fought for over 3 years of digging. 9. The soil held moisture for about 11 days between waterings. I squeezed a handful, and it fell apart in soft crumbs instead of clumping into a hard ball. That crumble has a name. Soil scientists call it aggregate structure. I call it the thing I spent $24 a year trying to buy in bags. I did not build this soil. I stopped preventing it from building itself. The worms were always in my yard. The fungi were always in the ground. The bacteria that glue soil particles together and convert dead organic matter into plant food, they were there, waiting. Every spring when I dug the beds, I killed them. Every fall when I raked the leaves into trash bags and put them on the curb, I starved them. I removed their raw material and destroyed their work, then drove to the garden center and spent $24 on bagged soil to replace what nature had offered me for free. The forest does not hurry. It does not buy inputs or track quarterly yields. It builds 1 millimeter at a time, year after year, and it never stops. Tomorrow, I tested 3 types of garden beds side by side. One of them cost $60. One cost nothing. The results were not what I expected.